Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been such a long time since I've sat down and filmed, mainly because I went to Seattle the last week of March, and then this week, which is like the first week of April. My birthday was on Monday, April 4th. I did want to put this video up by then, but I didn't know my parents were coming until very short notice, so that kind of threw things off a little bit for me. But the awesome thing about my birthday is that I actually share it with Manny, which is really cool. I actually didn't know that until he mentioned it on his Snapchat, saying that his birthday was Monday, and as I was watching it, I was like, wait, my birthday's Monday. And it was so crazy, but anyways, I'm gonna just share with you guys my favorites for the month of March, and I have a lot of really awesome stuff here. I actually like deep cleaned my makeup collection. Like, I was ruthless. I got rid of so much stuff, and it just felt really good to be left with a lot of products that I know that I really do like. And I kind of rediscovered old favorites as I was cleaning things out. I've been buying things here and there. I usually do the little mini hauls on Snapchat, so if you don't follow me on Snapchat, please do. And if you are a part of my Snapchat, thank you so much for following me. I actually got an overwhelmingly amount of people started to follow me on Snapchat, which is crazy because I honestly did not think that would happen. I was just kind of in shock, and whenever I get on, there's like 1 new friend, 2 new friends, 3 new friends. So that's really awesome. So thank you all so much for following me on Snapchat thus far. So I'm gonna just kind of go through my favorites, and these are things that you've been seeing in my Instagram videos a lot and tutorials a lot, and then I just use on a daily basis, whether I'm going to class or work. These are the things that I like always gravitate towards. I just don't even know where to start, honestly. Like, I kind of want to do tools because they're all just right here. Let's do tools. All of my brushes are actually really dirty, and I apologize, but I've honestly been using them so much, and that's kind of why they're dirty. First thing is this flat top kabuki. This is actually just from Amazon at the checkout. Like, if you've looked at brushes before, they'll kind of have these pop up every now and then. Just kind of suggested items. So they come in a set of 4, which are these 4 brushes, and I do really love these brushes, like all of them. The only one that's like okay is this kind of round top kabuki. It's just very similar to a lot of them that I own. I do also really love the slanted one for cream contouring. It blends everything out super well. The pointed one is one of my top 2 favorites. This guy is perfect for like under eye, like concealer. You can bake your under eye too really precisely with this guy, or just put any loose powder or things like that. And then the flat top is really awesome for not only foundation, but I've been using this a lot for powder. So I'll go into my powder, I'll literally just kind of press it on the top, and then I kind of just press it on my skin. I do like to use it with like powder foundations or pressed powders the most. I recently fell in love again with the e.l.f. fan brush for highlighting. I feel like now that we're kind of getting into spring and summer, I kind of want more of an all over glow instead of like that precise glow, which I still love, but I feel like on a daily basis, especially for class, since I'm back in class now, it's just nice to have a really soft diffused highlight as opposed to like a holy shit, I'm wearing some highlight, you know? So this just kind of really gets it really nice and softly on the face, and I just really like it. So for everyday, this is an amazing little fan brush. For liner, this is a guy that I've been going to pretty much the most, whether it's on myself, and I did a photo shoot this month, and I took this brush with me, and it just made my life so much easier for putting it on the models. And it's a Morphe M250-1. It's a super tiny little brush, and it just works really well for gel. The bristles don't like, they're not like very shaped. They're literally just straight orange bristles, and I was kind of worried about that. But when you actually pick up some product, they stick together a little bit, and it just kind of works. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just works really well, and it gives you a really tiny little line. And my last brush is one that, again, I did not think I would like when I got it. My first impression was terrible. I did not like it at all. So I just cleaned it, put it back, never use it again. The One brush, I believe is what it's called, and it's the rose gold edition, which is beautiful. So it's just kind of a really big Ita brush, kind of like from NARS. So I use this a lot for contouring, and what I like to do is pick up some contour like on this like quarter end of the brush on either side, doesn't really matter, and then I'll just kind of sweep it into the hollows of my cheeks, and then taking the rest of the brush, I'll pick up some bronzer, and then from there I will just kind of bronze up my face, and then I'll take a little bit more contour powder sometimes and bring it up on the temples, and I just kind of just keep swirling it back and forth to just make it all look super blended. So for primer, I have one and one only. I have been using this in pretty much every single tutorial that I've been doing, and just on a daily, the Stila One Step Correct Skin Tone Correcting and Brightening Serum. And on the back, I actually didn't notice this till this morning when I was putting it on. It diminishes the looks of fine lines and wrinkles, minimizes pores, hydrates and balances, and controls oil. I didn't know that it did all that stuff, but that kind of makes sense as to why I love it, because it has so many awesome benefits. So if you're looking for a really awesome primer and you're into that whole color correcting thing, but you don't want to go too crazy with it, this is awesome, especially for beginners. So if you're ever looking for a good primer, this is an awesome one from Stila. Going off of that for color correctors, my favorite of the month so far have been the Sephora Collection Bright Future Gel Correctors in the shade Green and Peach Light. These two are awesome. You see them in pretty much every video. They're amazing. Yeah, these are both amazing and they've been so good to me this month, and I just absolutely love the formula. They are so good. So for foundation, I have two favorites of the month, total polar opposite foundation types. The first one is a Laura Mercier Candle Glow Soft Luminous Foundation. If you don't like a light to medium coverage foundation, you will not like this. It's super, super light coverage. It doesn't cover a whole ton, but it does give your face a really nice glow. It gives pretty good coverage. So if you're someone who has really, really minimal scarring and issues and, you know, dark spots and things like that, redness, kind of a veil of color is what it is. So this is amazing. I've used up quite a bit of it for an everyday foundation for someone who likes to wear something lighter. This is amazing. I would definitely suggest checking it out. The other foundation that I've been loving is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. Total polar opposite. It's super, super full coverage. The only thing I don't like is the actual applicator. I wish it was like a pump or something, because this just is kind of weird. Like, I don't like dotting on my face and things like that. But the rest of the packaging is beautiful. Like, I love how this looks as a whole. I just wish that this would be a pump when you open it instead. Definitely want to use a brush. I feel like a beauty blender doesn't really quite do the trick. I feel like you need to use a brush with this guy. So this has been amazing. It's a little pricey, but for the amount that you need to use, it's honestly super worth it, because you seriously need like 3 dots on your face and you are good to go. For powder, I have been absolutely loving the Kat Von D Lock-It Powder Foundation. I wear the shade Light 45, and this has just been awesome. It's just a really nice powder. It's not super thick and cakey like I thought it would be, and it just kind of gives you a little extra coverage. It keeps you nice and matte, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful powder. I love using it with the flat top kabuki like I mentioned earlier for powder. This has just been like my go-to powder for either keeping it in my purse or just kind of touching up here and there and setting my face with it as well. So last month I mentioned that I've absolutely been loving the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek and Electric Slide. As kind of a primer for my highlighter, I like to put it on after my foundation before powder. It just kind of gives an extra glow to my highlight, and this month I've actually been loving the Sephora Luminizing Drops in Morning Light, and I also really like it to kind of blend upwards a little bit and downwards a little bit. That way I have that intense glow right on my cheekbone, and it kind of diffuses out with the liquid as well. So this has just been really, really awesome for priming and also helping to diffuse my highlighter. I know I already mentioned this last month, but honestly, Benefit Air Patrol has still been a favorite primer of mine. I honestly use this pretty much every single day. The only thing I do not like about this product is the applicator. It just gets so gross at the tip. Like, it gets all clogged. Had to mention it again 2 months in a row. That's saying something. For eyeliner, I have absolutely been loving again my MAC Black Chalk Fluid line. I did recently open up my Anastasia Jet waterproof cream color, but this guy is just so creamy. I've had this for 4 years. I bought it when I was 18, I believe. I just turned 22. That's not good. But still, I've had this for a really long time, and that says a lot, and I haven't actually used my Duraline in this. I haven't had to, which is amazing. So it's just a really, really creamy, super black, creamy gel liner. And the fact that I've had this for 4 years and it hasn't dried out yet at all is amazing. Like, that is saying something. And sometimes I'll even leave it open. Like, it's just really good. I've had people come into like Sephora and stuff, or just have heard around from other friends and makeup bloggers and stuff that MAC Black Chalk Fluid Line isn't that great because it dries out super quickly. I've heard that so many times, and honestly, every single time I hear that, I kind of just roll my eyes, because I'm like, no, I've had mine for 4 freaking years. I haven't done anything to it at all, and it's still creamy as ever, and I still have a ton. Like, I feel like I use it pretty regularly, and I'm still have a lot. Like, I'm starting to get down to it. I can see the bottom in the center, but it still has a pretty good amount of product, and it has yet to dry out at all. So that's awesome. For mascaras, I have actually been using a combination of these two. Alone, they are amazing, but together, there's just something about them that is just so, so good. And the combination is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and the Grandiose mascara from Lancome. And because of the tiny little curved brush, it's just super easy to kind of get right in the corners, and then like right on the outer corners as well. I can push up my lashes and apply a good amount of product. And then once that's done, I will take the Better Than Sex to kind of just coat my lashes and really make them super full, very fluffy and long. So if you have these two, give them a try together and I think you'll really like it. All right, the last 4 things are all palettes. I know that sounds like a lot, but honestly, these have just been awesome this month. Like, I just cannot get over them. The first one is the Anastasia Glow Kit. It was in my recent haul. Actually, all of these are in my recent haul, so they're gonna look a little familiar. But this has just been awesome. I've been loving Crushed Pearl, which is probably the shade that I heard the most about before I bought this palette. But I've been using that one with pretty much every single color. It just kind of livens up every color in the palette a little bit more. I have been loving the Manny MUA Makeup Geek palette, specifically for the shade Mars. If I'm gonna use this palette, I'm gonna use Mars with whatever other colors that I choose. This palette has been awesome. It's just a really good, simple palette. You can do any color combinations and it will look amazing. And I just love warm palettes. I tried doing something more cool tone today. I just can't do the cool tones. Like, I try, I just can't. Like, I'm a warm person. I just can't do cool colors. The next favorite is my Z palette. Not necessarily the colors that are in here, even though I have been using these guys a ton. They're all Makeup Geek and MAC shadows, but the actual palette itself has been really, really nice. Because I don't have like the smaller Sephora ones and I have all of my shadows in one place, I feel like I've been reaching a lot more for my individual shadows, and it's just prettier. I feel like it's just cleaner, it's more simple, it's all here in my palette for me. So the Z palette has really helped me out to really, really help me get my use out of my single eyeshadows. And my final favorite is the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. I do have a tutorial coming on this palette on Saturday, but this palette is just, it's me. Like I said, I'm a very, very warm color wearer. I can't do cool tones. And that being said, this palette is my life. Like, I just absolutely love this palette so much. Other than that, I have nothing else to show you guys. Those were all of my favorites for the month of March. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as well as follow me on all of my social media. I had it around here floating somewhere with my head. Also, please make sure to check out my last video, which will be to my left side, and I will see you guys next time.